Hello all and welcome back. I hope everyone is doing really well. Loads to cover again today in this video as we take a quick look at the cryptocurrency market as a whole and of course a deeper dive into Hedera and what is going on with the network. Some news just in though, after we saw those raft of different Bitcoin ETFs go live, they have actually become the second largest ETF commodity in the US, already surpassing silver, still lagging slightly behind gold. So we can clearly see the appetite here for digital currencies such as Bitcoin from institutional investor grade sort of level equity is definitely working, and we are seeing a lot more long-term Bitcoin be converted across into these ETF holdings. The SEC as well is delaying decisions for Fidelity's spot Ethereum ETFs, and there are many other ETFs as well for spot Ethereum that have been filed. So we can already see it playing out, as I'd mentioned previously months ago before the BTC ETFs were even released, that we'd start seeing other types of crypto commodity ETFs get filed. We'll probably begin with a blue chip, of course, being Ethereum as a spot ETF, and then maybe even move into other complex baskets of cryptocurrencies from across the space. Think of remittance payment systems like 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗘𝗥𝗥𝗔𝗟𝗦. Those types of coins, you might see an ETF pop up. You might see other types of layer 0 or layer 1 asset-based ETFs form as well. So that could be our blue chips such as Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, Hedera. Those types of cryptocurrency projects particularly could feature in an ETF going forward into the future. Wanted to cover this as well as it's very interesting and potentially could have ties back to the cryptocurrency space. X or Twitter has just launched a new payments account. Of course, we'd seen many different rumors they were filing for payment processing licenses, and it looks like a lot of those have been accepted. So potentially we can see more integration going forward into the future with the creator economy and cryptocurrencies. Crypto.com as well has said the global crypto owners grew to around 580 million in 2023. So that's 580 million out of 8 billion people across the planet now hold crypto in some kind of form. So still a very low percentage when we look at adoption. Of course, if we then deep dive into the demographics of where that adoption is coming from, it's typically the younger generations currently, and less so things like institutions that are currently holding a lot of cryptocurrencies. I.e., what I'm saying is there's clearly a lot of growth here to still take place as we move forward into the future for adoption. It's still one of the biggest things for cryptocurrency. Touching on those spot ETFs again then, BlackRock is now holding nearly 46,000 Bitcoin, which is worth over $1.8 billion within their spot Bitcoin ETF. And of course, there were several others as well that got accepted by the SEC that went live a couple of weeks ago. So literally thousands of BTC are being bought up by these ETFs, showing there is significant demand that will probably continue to accelerate throughout 2024 as it becomes more and more widely available. Right then, that's kind of enough of the wider crypto space. Let's take a quick look at Hedera, as there's a ton of different news to be covering, particularly as we see the Hedera DeFi ecosystem ramping up again. Reminds me back way when in, I think it was 2021, of that hot summer of DeFi we had. SourceSwap's TVL has surpassed 1 billion hbar. So SourceSwap's total value locked has reached a new record high, surpassing 1 billion hbar. This total TVL is equivalent to around 3% of hbar's circulating supply. SourceSwap now ranks as 23rd top DEX in TVL according to DeFi Llama. So as we can see there, 3% of every single circulating token of hbar is currently locked up as total value locked within the SourceSwap protocol and being used to provide liquidity to facilitate transactions and swaps on the DEX. So SourceSwap keeps innovating and moving forward and drawing in hbar from the wider ecosystem. Not only that, SourceSwap hasn't begun to rest on its laurels as of yet to expand access to the Hedera network. They've collaborated with the Synapse protocol team on a bridge integration proposal. You can help by contributing ideas to the link discussion. Let's attract more users and liquidity over to our network. So Synapse protocol are the largest cross-chain bridge with around $40 billion in volume and around 2 million users. There is no second best. So SourceSwap here is looking to do an integration with Synapse Protocol or Synapse Labs to effectively help bring the liquidity and attention to Hedera from other chains. We've known about this for several years at this point. Of course, Hashport have been doing an incredibly good job so far in helping to enable the cross-bridge flow of equity between these different chains. But SourceSwap is now looking to help ramp that up with a strategic partnership with Synapse Protocol. Again, this is something to be incredibly bullish on for the Hedera ecosystem, particularly things like DeFi, HTS, and even things such as NFTs. It helps open and broaden the horizon of others on chains that potentially aren't completely aware of Hedera yet. Some interesting tweets here from Avery Dennison's Smart Track with some little sort of snippets almost of what we could be seeing in the future. So did you know that integrating RFID technologies enhances security and safety measures for inventory? With AD Twist, not only can you help better keep count of inventory, but track where any items go to improve loss prevention and help aid anti-theft efforts. So we can see here, it's one of their smart RFID Smart Track AD Twist tags being put onto a sort of water cooler pipe by the looks of it, or some kind of hydraulic hose within an engine bay of a car. And of course, this almost ties into what we've seen with Kia and Hyundai looking to build or effectively announcing that they are building on the Hedera Hashgraph network to track their inventory and things like supply chain assurance. And of course, you've got Avery Dennison here being the largest use case at the moment, facilitating majority of the transactions on Hedera, saying, look, you know, AD Twist can not only be used on apparel. Don't forget, these guys do the apparel for some of the world's largest brands like Adidas, etc. But also we can use these AD Twists in other parts of supply chains, even on things like motor vehicles. So the potential here is absolutely massive. It expands to any supply chain for any type of commerce business that exists across the globe today. Some other breaking news from West24, India's largest trade finance platform, Vayana Official, has partnered with the Hashgraph. Together, they're building a digital asset platform on Hedera for Vayan's clients worldwide. This includes a rapidly growing presence in APAC, or Asia Pacific and China, as well as the Middle East. So stablecoins and asset management, they are looking to effectively have a platform that will be facilitated and run through Hedera Hashgraph. Again, as I said, lots of great news, and it's incredibly bullish at the moment. Fantastic thread here as well I wanted to run through from Jacob, who's one of the sort of core team at Hashpack. As Web3 becomes more mainstream, wallets are likely to move into two different main directions. You've got holistic and abstracted wallets. So less so wallets, more so accounts effectively. So things like music libraries, gaming inventories, art collections, your private social life, as well as your finance, all sit under the accounts that we would see across crypto. Holistic wallets, this is the operating system approach. Self-custodial wallets are a place to manage all of your digital assets, a storefront for Web3 apps, and are a passport for your digital identity. Examples include things like Hashpack app, Phantom, MetaMask, the list goes on. Alternatively, we have abstracted wallets, which are Web3 apps that onboard users in a more traditional way through something like email, mobile, or social logins. The wallet is made in the background, unbeknownst to the user, with users then being able to export to a holistic wallet later if they wish to do that. Examples include things like Galaxy app, 𝗟𝗘𝗙𝗘𝗥, and Reddit. Abstracted wallets can use a custodial solution, or better yet, integrate Magic Labs for a self-custodial approach. Both offer a familiar UX and don't confuse users with crypto paradigms like remembering things such as seed phrases. Things like Wallet as a Service, or WAS, aim to commodify wallet abstraction, but I'm not convinced they're the best solution. Wallets still aren't integrated seamlessly enough to be completely invisible from the user experience. There's also another problem with wallet, which is wallet management. If a new wallet is created every time you use an app, you'll end up with hundreds of wallets having to remember different addresses and recovery details. Not great for user experience. And this comes back to that friction that I've spoken about many, many times in the past when it comes to cryptocurrency. And it's actually something that Lehman himself has mentioned. It's one of the reasons, obviously, they've partnered with Algorand, for example, for DREC, or decentralized recovery, because you really want to make this experience as seamless, as frictionless as possible for the end user, to the point of where it's so abstracted they don't even know they're effectively using cryptocurrency. It just works. I've said this before. Any of those of you, I know the US banking system's slightly different, but from across Europe, let's say, you know, you effectively have a bank account, you can send funds to wherever you like. It's really frictionless and almost at times you don't even know how it's working in the background. You just have a UX in front of you and you are able to process stuff on demand. A possible solution exists though, decentralized identity. Again, as we said, this is something that 𝗟𝗏𝗦 has spoken about in the past. Imagine a single account that's used to log into every app and manage all of your wallets. It could be secured with Hedera's decentralized recovery, or DREC, as I just mentioned, meaning no more remembering of seed phrases required. Think of something like Apple ID, but decentralized and completely owned by you. You own your account, your personal information, as well as all of your assets. Of course, it's not without its own challenges, such as an agreeable standard for interoperability. Luckily, the speed, scalability, and security means Hedera is best positioned to solve these complex problems. What do you think the future of wallets look like? As I said, I thought this was a really great thread by Jacob, and it's definitely the direction that the world and things like cryptocurrencies will be moving forward into the future. And in fact, this will probably be one of the biggest, almost paradigm shifts for adoption that we will probably ever see for cryptocurrencies if this is pulled off successfully. As I covered in a previous video, hbar, or Hedera, and 𝗟𝗘𝗙𝗘𝗥, of course, have partnered together for decentralized recovery, but it forms this wider picture of DIDs, decentralized identities, and recovery to provide that frictionless service. And who better to really pioneer that than Hedera alongside 𝗟𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏. Massive news as we've had some changes to the Hedera Governing Council. Hedera's Governing Council member 𝗟𝗚𝗡𝗚 has been replaced with Australia's Payment Plus, which 𝗟𝗚𝗡𝗚 is actually now a part of, so effectively it's just a structure shift. AP Plus is running the entire payments infrastructure in Australia, has over 150 partner institutions, and processes nearly 4 billion transactions alone in 2022. So that's some news from the Hedera Governing Council. I have videos going back probably a year or so at this point looking at 𝗟𝗚𝗡𝗚, because of course they have actually been looking at producing some very large solutions built natively on Hedera Hashgraph. Interesting tweet here from Christian Hasker, and again, I tend to agree. The future of fan-centric sports is here with 𝗟𝗚𝗡𝗏𝗡. They are on the cutting edge of innovation in the sports entertainment world. Built on Hedera, you can read the case study. I'll leave this link down in the description for you guys. 𝗟𝗚𝗡𝗏𝗡, of course, I have featured on the channel before and covered what they are looking to do. Just wanted to take a quick moment as well, though, to talk about the recent hype we've seen around HTS, or Hedera Token Service-based tokens, i.e. tokens that are native to Hedera. It's one thing to be said to remember as well, the low fees on Hedera that of course fixed in US dollars are actually a double-edged sword. Of course, they are absolutely fantastic for processing transactions because it is an incredibly minuscule amount of cash in order to process them. However, at the same side, it makes things like spam and scam activity very, very easy, and it's something that many long-term members of the Hedera community have been aware of for a long time, that potentially this could happen going forward into the future. And that is, of course, we are seeing a ton, and I literally mean a ton, of meme coins, etc., showing up on the Hedera network itself, because of course it is so damn cheap and accessible to be able to create a meme coin. In fact, you could spin up a meme coin in as little as, I don't know, a couple of minutes at this point, as there are creator tools now built into the likes of Hashpack Wallet. I think 𝗟𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 have got something similar. There are some very, very easy ways with literally a couple of clicks to deploy a meme token or a token of any kind on Hedera Hashgraph. So what I'm effectively saying is be very vigilant and careful, and make sure as you're doing your own research before investing into any of these particular tokens. I know there are many people, and there's wild speculation at the moment for the Hedera DeFi ecosystem, but stick to those that probably have a bit more of a track record, and that you're not likely to crash and burn and go to zero because someone has airdropped massive amounts of tokens to their other wallets that they then use you for exit liquidity, basically. So yeah, just wanted to do a sort of bit of PSA for the ecosystem. Let's round up this video then, as an announcement from the hbar Foundation went out the other day. We're excited to announce 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗘𝗥𝗥, the Hedera-based delivery as a service, or DaaS DePIN, has launched on Hedera mainnet to drive financial inclusion throughout Africa. As a delivery as a service, or DaaS DePIN, connects local drivers with users who need to send their packages. 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗥𝗥 helps solve this issue of fragmented delivery across the continent that makes the traditional process of sending an item both slow and unreliable, creating new jobs, expanding market access for local businesses, and leveraging next-gen stablecoin payments on Hedera, supporting economic growth. 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗥𝗥 is actively driving financial inclusion throughout Africa. Built with the highly scalable Hedera network as well as Google Maps, 𝗥𝗙𝗥𝗥 logs all driver journeys on the Hedera Consensus Service, or HCS, to protect customers and drivers from accusations of fraud, theft, and item loss, whilst also providing workers with added job protection. And this is a big thing even in first world countries. For each driver journey, the HCS is also used to log all carbon emissions, enabling the team to offset their carbon and accurately report all of their ESG data as they move towards an electric vehicle or EV-fueled sustainable future. As well as the HCS, 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗘𝗥 also leverages the Hedera token service and the Flutterwave APIs for its KPL stablecoin, ensuring maximum cost efficiencies for both drivers and users. There are several different driver testimonials, and find out the Hedera topic and token IDs used by 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗥. Check out the latest hbar blog. Again, I will leave this link down in the description for you guys. But hopefully we'll be seeing further transactions driven on Hedera Hashgraph. It always amazes me, and I hope it amazes you as well, the sheer creativity of the services effectively that can be run and immutably logged on Hedera. They keep getting wilder and wilder, and these things all to do with sort of supply chain journeys, carbon offsetting, financial remittances. The list is literally endless, and obviously we've covered hundreds of these over the last couple of years on this channel. Anyway, I am of course very bullish for 2024. Let's see what happens. Feel free to leave a comment if you've got something to say. I do try and respond to as many of them as I possibly can. You can always subscribe as well to be notified for my future videos. And until the next one, I'll catch you then. Cheers.